I did not know what to wear in this video, and I feel like such a nerd for going with this, but I wasn't feeling anything else really. Hey guys, I'm Serena, and today's video is how I got into USC. I'm the kind of person who's really hard on themselves, so I was so surprised when I got the packet in the mail. I thought that because I didn't have a private tutor for standardized tests that I wasn't good enough to get into my dream school, even though I'm not taking the steps that growing up I thought I had to. In order to get into such a good school, I'm still working hard, or even harder than the kids whose parents are helping them to get there. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now, but I didn't know what would be good timing. But given the recent scandal that we have all heard about, I thought that I should probably talk about some things. Also, I'm not trying to be petty, like I stan Olivia Jade. I've loved her since the beginning, and I honestly feel bad for her. Like, her mom was arrested today, her whole world is probably seeming to fall apart, and I really wonder if she knew what was going on at the time, and obviously it's so wrong what all these parents did. Yeah, let's not be rude to anyone, especially when we don't know the whole story. It's not tea. Also, there's something to be said about the costs and exclusivity problems that colleges pose to America. It goes way beyond a bunch of like filthy rich kids whose parents broke the law to get them somewhere where they didn't deserve to be. So I'm gonna talk about the general process of getting into college, and then I'll get into the more questbridge specific stuff. Like the title says, I am a questbridge scholar. If I talk about it throughout the video, it might just be confusing. But also I didn't hear about it until kind of late in the game, so keep watching and you might find out about something like really cool and important for your college process. First, we're gonna talk about my grades. Freshman year, I was at a public school in Pennsylvania, freaking out all the time about having enough extracurriculars and getting straight A's, and I was such a perfectionist that I was driving myself, my parents, and my teachers, and probably my friends crazy. Please, if you're still in high school, if you're beginning high school, it's all about balance, because I regret so much not having that social experience freshman year because I was so focused on my grades in college, and the future is promised to no one. So please just live in the moment and live your best life. Like, yes, still work hard, but I wish I had learned how to strike a balance earlier on. Be chill, okay? Even though I was stressing myself out, I did, however, make it out of freshman year with straight A's. I was moving to New York City that summer, and I interviewed and was lucky enough to get into my school. And it was a hard school, and I had to really strive to keep my grades as good as they were during freshman year at my old high school. Junior year, I took a harder science class. It started to get really difficult. This is shocking, you guys, okay? I got a B. Let me tell you, I cried because it was in my acting class, and this is still junior year, and all I wanted was to go to college for acting. Second semester brought my average back up to all A's. Senior year, though, had a pretty bad case of senioritis. I think I had a B in math first semester and second semester. I had straight A's for the first 2 years of high school, and then a couple B's junior and senior year. So, test prep. I know that there are free test prep programs. None of them fit into my schedule. My mom was not involved with the test stuff at all, so everything was just on me. And between like organizing and doing all of my schoolwork, signing up for tests, I couldn't also like find all of these opportunities. It was just a lot, and then I didn't have time once I found one. We didn't have money for private classes that catered to my schedule or a private tutor. And I kept feeling like I was doing something wrong, but test prep and tutors, it's a privilege. You can do just as well without one. What test prep looked like for me was working harder in my math classes. When I would go home and not understand how to do a problem, I would research it and make sure that I could apply it in different situations should it be on the test. I also took subject tests, so I studied French over the summer. I did buy the SAT French subject test prep book and I studied that. There's also online free test prep, and so I would sometimes just go through some of those problems and make sure I could do it. If not, I would do further research and figure out what I was missing. You could say that my test prep was not the most regimented thing in the world. Still did pretty okay. Okay, so I got the equivalent score on my SAT and ACT, so I didn't know which one I was better at and should try to invest more time into improving. The first test I took was the SAT with an essay, the January one. I got a 1240. There was a school day SAT in April. They say that your test can jump, I think, like around 200 points, like naturally. I was pretty excited when I found out that I got a 1390. In May, I decided to take the subject tests. I don't know why I took math, but I got a 530. I got a 620 on the literature test. In June, I took my ACT. I got a 30. And in August, I took another subject test. I took literature again, and my score magically jumped to 710. And I took French, and I got a 550. Took the ACT again in September, and I got another 30. I got 1310 in October for the SAT, so I don't know, my scores just went down. Extracurriculars. If you haven't applied to college yet, what you might not know, because I didn't until I was filling out the Common App, they actually ask for the hours per week that you participate. So the first extracurricular I put was my high school's theater club, which I was super involved in, so involved that I didn't have time for any other clubs at school, at least. They also could see that I progressed in the club. Senior year, I was choreographer and I was also the treasurer for the student leadership team. Seeing that I took on leadership roles was definitely helpful, or it's said to be helpful. And then dance. I also had been a part of this organization called Collage. It stands for Children of Lesbians and Gays Everywhere. If you don't know, I have 2 moms. I was a part of the youth advisory board, which had us like writing articles and helping youth with any of their questions about like having gay parents. And I was also a facilitator in training for 2 years, learning how to be a counselor. The summer between junior and senior year, I went to Botswana on a scholarship from CIE. So I put that trip and that scholarship. I volunteered at an elementary school where I was a teaching assistant for dance, singing, storytelling, and like a theater class. So I put that, and then I also separately had my theater club for my school in Pennsylvania. I had one in school and one outside of school. This next part is about the essays, and I honestly think it's the most important part of a college application, especially speaking anecdotally. Like, my stats were good, but I didn't get like a 34 on the ACT. They were good. They were borderline to get in with USC's like averages. I think probably my essays were what really pushed it over the edge. My Common App essay, which got submitted to all of my schools, I wrote about my journey, balancing all of the different sides of myself. Having 2 moms, being both an artist and an academic, how that made me feel different. For the USC supplements, sort of like my Common App essay, I involved a lot of different interests into one. And the questions, okay, describe yourself in 3 words. When you have those little answers, like, definitely don't worry about what did they want to hear, what's the perfect answer, because this is a mess. I'm 17 and my favorite movie is still Sister to the Traveling Pants. I really could have judged myself and filtered that out and said something like classy and Oscar winning. I think they probably liked that I was down to earth. My college application process was low-key wild. I did audition for USC for the BFA, but there was also an interview at the audition for the BA program. For any of the majors in the School of Dramatic Arts, there were creative supplements. I remember this part so vividly. We had to submit 3 pictures with a caption to each of them. The one that was the most iconic was this picture. where I'm hanging upside down on the subway. Be your true self in your application. It's not robots, like, okay, check, she got a 30. There are people reading your applications who have gone through so many all day for months and months, and they probably want to be entertained and impressed, so don't hold back. The last segment of this video that I wanted to make sure to talk about was being a questbridge scholar. If you're not familiar with questbridge, it's a really amazing program. The questbridge National College Match is a college and scholarship application process that helps outstanding low-income high school seniors gain admission and full 4-year scholarships to the nation's most selective colleges. You apply to be a questbridge scholar and they have their own separate application. It does involve your scores, but they have their own questions and also financial materials that need to be submitted. The process was that you would apply to be a scholar, find out whether you were a scholar, and then you'd apply to like your top schools to see if you could get matched with a full scholarship. I got the news that I got questbridge and I was so shook because it's competitive. There are, I think, 40 or over 40 college partners that questbridge works with to match students to schools. USC is one of the partners. I highly recommend looking into questbridge if you think you might be eligible. So I got accepted for the BA acting program, deferred for my gap year. I ended up asking if I could switch to health and human sciences, that I could study both social science and maybe get on a pre-med track, but I'm still not really sure what I want to do, and that's why I'm so excited to go and just explore all of the different opportunities there. Yeah, I just want to say, like, I'm so grateful. I'm still surprised. I'm so excited to get a USC education. They really stress like that it's good to have different interests, and so I'm so excited for whatever majors, plural, and minors, plural, that I have. I cannot wait for move-in in August. I hope that this video helped anyone who's thinking of applying to USC. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment on here or DM me. My Instagram's @SerenaWile. So definitely make sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends, please. I'll definitely be making a lot of videos when I get to USC, and we have a lot of exciting content coming soon. See you in my next video.